Hola, namaste a todos y a todas. Bienvenidos en la segunda parada del Allianz Xuan Lan Yoga Tour. Es una gira de bienestar, de yoga, de meditación y sobre todo de compartir. En nuestra primera parada en Madrid hemos hablado del poder de la luz, de los colores, y ahora vamos a hablar del poder de las vibraciones y de la música con una nueva invitada. Se llama Wong Janice y aquí está en Casa Vicens en Barcelona conmigo y con vosotros. Hi Janice, how are you?
Hi Xuan, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Welcome to this Gaudí place, to Barcelona, and welcome to this tour. And we have a lot of questions for you to talk about vibration and to talk about sound healing. So you're Chinese, born and raised in Australia and based in Amsterdam. So we have more or less the same background, and you're so international.
Yes.
And you came all the way from Amsterdam to Barcelona to talk about your talent and your power. You started cello as a little girl, I suppose.
That's correct. I started music at a very young age. I first started to play piano around about 6 or 7, and then I fell in love with the cello, and it's been a lifelong relationship ever since.
Great. And when did you start to play cello for meditation specifically?
My journey with meditation without the cello started maybe 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was looking into my life and was deciding my next step, there were 2 strong points. I wanted to do meditation every day of my life and play the cello every day of my life. So it just clicked that those 2 things would combine and become my life passion and what I do now.
It's an organic mix.
Yes, it wasn't planned at all.
Do you meditate with your own music?
To be honest, I'm more of a silent meditator,
Okay.
but I believe that music can bring you into different states.
Mm-hmm.
So I use silence as a way to really understand myself and what's happening inside, but music can bring me to a state of relaxation or to a deeper conscious level quickly, which silence cannot do. So I believe that that's why I want to share my music, because some people find it difficult to meditate in silence, and I want to make meditation accessible for everybody, and music is a good way to do that.
That's exactly the aim of this tour. We want to share the power of meditation, of yoga, of well-being, and really to take care of ourselves and take time for meditation, for relaxation, just to take time for ourselves. We have such a fast-paced life, and we try to invite not only through this masterclass, but also for them to discover your music, to take time just to relax at home, or to sit and do a seated meditation with or without music. So I think they will discover, most of the people here will discover your music and enjoy it. I would like to say that Janice is the unique, really sound healer playing cello for music, for meditation and relaxation. And you can find her music on Spotify, on YouTube, on meditation app. She does workshops. You work also with companies, no?
Yes, part of my biggest work during the pandemic has been to offer virtual cello meditation sessions for corporations. It's very needed in a time like this.
A lot of stress and anxiety, not only for the pandemic, but also because how we work every day, how we use our devices and mobiles, and the lifestyle that we're having is really so fast, so it's really hard to find this time for meditation. We say, I want to do it, but some people say they just say it and they would never do it. So I hope this masterclass, the broadcasting and your music will incite and motivate them to start, pause and slow down. You combine classical ideas, because you have a very classical background, with this modern concept of meditation. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
I'm classically trained on the cello, and I did my classical cello training for 10 years. But after that point, I realized that there's more to playing the cello than just these old classical pieces. So I started to teach myself to improvise and to play other styles of music. And after a while, I've just really been passionate to play as well, improvised. So in the past, I would practice hours and hours on a classical piece, but now I feel free to improvise on the spot while I do my performances. And this gives me a sense of freedom, and this is one of the main reasons why I found the path of meditation in the first place, to seek freedom in my life, to release blockages, and this is what I can feel when I improvise.
What you just said about blockages, I was reading about sound therapy, sound healing, and music therapy to understand a bit more the power of vibrations. And what I read is that sound healing has been like a very old form of healing. It's a holistic way of healing, while music therapy is more like a modern techniques to help certain symptoms and to cure certain symptoms. So about sound healing, and I heard also a lot about sound healing in Australia, the shamanic also tradition and rituals, has a therapeutic application of the sound frequency on the mind and body. And yesterday when we were talking, you told me about the different elements and also the importance of the intention. So in yoga, when I start a class, I always do an intention and invite my students to do an intention. And in the masterclass here, we're going to do that. You told me that you were doing the same thing. You do your own intention and you invite the people who are at the workshop or the meditation to do it?
Yes, that's correct. So for example, in a corporate session, they're coming from meeting to meeting, very, very busy, a lot of screen time. And I usually ask the group, oh, how do you feel right now? And the responses are usually overwhelmed, tired, a little bit stressed, nervous. And I said, okay, that's totally fine. Acknowledge those feelings, but you are here with me now. And for the rest of the hour, what do you want to get out of it? And so I invite them to make their own intention, and usually it's then to just have 1 hour away from their work to calm down a little bit. And at the end of the session, I ask them how they are feeling, and more often than not, the reactions are, I feel much better, more energized, more refreshed and relaxed. So
yeah, it can be very diverse. Not everybody feel or sense the same thing with the same music. So it's very personal, it's very intimate.
Yes, so I don't like to tell the participants what they should expect. If they are having a hard day, at the end of the session, they still might be experiencing the same. So I don't promise anything, but I invite them to just take 1 hour and feel whatever emotions come up. If they allow the music to help them, then they will receive the benefits of the music. So
we know that music has an effect on our mood. So we know that if there's a music you like, you want to start to dance, maybe another kind of music you want to cry, or we use a lot of music in our advertising, also in movies, just to create moods. So for sure we know the relation between music and mood. But I think, and I experienced your music and I discovered you I think 1 year ago, and I started to meditate with your music, and I felt such a deep feeling inside. I felt the vibration, even if it was not live, because I was using it on Spotify. And I mean, it was magic, and each time it's different. Same music, but different feeling, different because I enter in the meditation in a different mood. So I really invite people to experience it also at home. And I'd like to talk about the 3 elements that you told me about. The first one was the frequency, the stable versus the chaotic. Can you tell us a bit more? And then I'd love to have a a bit of your music about it.
Of course. So the first principle is a stable grounding tone. For example, in ancient sound healing, gongs or sound bowls were used, and if you strike these instruments, it creates a long and very big constant vibration. And the more constant this sound is, the more healing it is. If it's too chaotic, like for example a drum kit, if there are too many sounds, too many things going on, it feels scattered. But the more stable the sound is, that will induce a more calming feeling. So the basis of my music is always a grounding tone. And I usually do this by playing long strokes of the cello with the bow. And every piece has a different grounding tone depending on which part of the body I want to activate.
I imagine that because we are full of water, of liquids, the frequency, the vibration of the instrument got into our body differently from one person to the other, no?
Yes, that's correct. When I've been playing the cello, people always tell me that it makes them feel so much emotion and they can't really work out why. And I think there are different elements of the cello that make this reason happen. But one of them is because humans are made up of 60% of water or more, and more for children. And imagine if you fill a singing bowl with water and you play this singing bowl, you can see beautiful patterns emerging from the vibrations of the bowl. So any sound, and especially long and broad vibrations, can affect you from the inside without you knowing why or how, but that's the reason why, because we are made from water.
So I really love to, even if when you're in a very empty place, like recently I was in a bunker in Berlin, and I could hear the vibration, the resonance and of voices chanting the mantra Om. And if you're in a smaller space, it's very different. And then if you're in water, it's very different. And if you do it with other people, it's also different. So I think it's nice to experience your music in different places and different environment. You were talking also, the second element is the timbre. The quality of the sound of an instrument is made of the combination of frequencies. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yes, every instrument has a different sound, even if they play the same note, because every instrument is made from a different material, and this makes the different frequencies, in this combination makes a different sound. It's like you and I sound different, even though we have similar figure, and it's because every throat is made differently, every body mass is different, and that's why we sound different. But the cello has a very unique quality because it sounds quite like a human voice. The range is quite broad. It can play low and it can play high, and so it's very similar to the voice because it sounds like the man when they speak deep, and then for female voices it sounds more similar because of the high notes. And I will demonstrate this to you in a bit, but it is really quite a familiar, safe sound when people hear the cello. It's like a comforting friend. It's a voice that they feel comfortable in. That's the experience I've had.
I really like this concept of an instrument having a comfort voice. And the third element has two other sub-elements. You were talking about music. For the first part, the rhythms and the melody.
Yes. So the first part is rhythm, and when there is a consistent rhythm, and my music doesn't have a beat, so I don't have a drum kit or a beat, but for example, if I would pluck the strings in a rhythmic fashion, it reminds you a little bit of heartbeat. So this constant rhythm keeps you in line and keeps you calm because it's constant. If I would suddenly play fast and then suddenly play slow, it's unsettling.
Yeah.
So I always try to play at the same pace, and if I'm not playing with the fingers, then I play with the bow, and I try to play around about 60 beats per minute, which is a good resting heart rate. And this will help the participants calm their heart rate as well. So the slower I play, the slower their heart rate becomes as well.
Nice. So we can be aware almost of our heartbeat thanks to the melody. And that's a concept of interoception, feeling inside. We have proprioception, which is our body in the environment outside, interoception is inside, which is not easy, but I like the idea of feeling or hearing our heartbeat thanks to the instrument, thanks to the rhythm of your music. And what I was reading on the articles you sent me, that the three elements combined has a very powerful level on the healing power of the music. And in sound healing, we always talk about Tibetan bowls or quarks or our gongs. So I think the cello is like a new form. It's not so well known, so I hope people will try that. And you've participated a lot in digital concert. I understand it's different, the digital and the live, but digital is working too, no?
Yes, it's very much needed right now, like I said. And because I can do the concert virtually, then I can reach people. As long as they have internet, then I can reach them. So
that's what we're going to do today together. Is really to reach more people thanks to the live broadcasting we're going to do of the masterclass and your concert. So that's the idea. So you feel their energy. You were talking about watching them in their eyes. So you can do meditation with eyes open, eyes closed, or people are sitting or they are lying down in your meditations.
It's mostly how the participants decide.
Okay.
I usually allow I don't give rules in my meditations because everybody has a different need at that moment. Some people receive the music better lying down. I personally love to enjoy a concert lying down. I find if I was standing with my eyes open, this is the least relaxing position possible. So
but you can then get into a deep sleep, no?
Some people fall asleep, yeah. But that's also the point. If I can bring them to a deeper state of consciousness, even if they fall asleep, that's for me a compliment. A lot of people have sleeping problems, so if they tell me that my music has helped them fall asleep, then I'm even happy that they didn't hear the end of the concert.
Also, you were talking about to receive actively, so people can fall asleep, they're really relaxed, but there's still an activate way of receiving your music, receiving what you're giving. So I'd love if you can tell us a bit more.
Yes. there are two elements of sound healing. One is using your own voice, for example, for the power of sound healing, and the second is receiving the music. And like you said before, in the bunker, everybody was chanting together. That's one way to activate the vibrations in your body, the water in your body, to use your own voice and the power of group. And if you've ever meditated, well, of course, you do yoga in a group and meditate in a group, but when you feel the presence of everybody together, it is heightened. So that's if you use your voice. And the same is when you receive the vibrations of the music. If everybody is there together receiving the vibrations, then it's a communal shared space.
Yes.
And then the energy of the whole room is calmed by the end.
I totally agree with you. That's why with Allianz we decided to do this tour with the master classes, but also with the live broadcasting, because we know now, after the pandemic, that we can share online and we can feel the energy and this vibration even if people are far away. So the idea is not just for few people to enjoy this yoga and meditation masterclass, but also to be able for thousands of people abroad who can enjoy the same thing. It will be different in each person, but I don't think the digital or the distance makes a difference. Now we can really enjoy this kind of event and this kind of experience thanks to internet. So I invite more people to share this tour with us. And just to finish, I hope that people will enjoy this vibration, energetic, healing. There's so many words coming to my mind about your power and your talent, and just be open about it. We're not looking for a specific sound, we're not looking for a specific sensation. There's no magic. The magic will come by itself. So don't look at anything, don't search for anything, just be open to it, and you see that Janice music will come to you. Thank you very much, Janice, for being here. Thank you very much for participating in the Allianz Xuan Lan Yoga Tour. We're very happy to have you here. And thank you, everyone. Muchas gracias a todos por estar aquí con nosotros. Vamos a disfrutar de una masterclass muy especial aquí en Barcelona, y os recuerdo que se queda todo en replay y que también seguimos con las siguientes paradas. Namaste a todos y a todas. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Xuan Lan.